Hey, what's good, y'all? What's good? Hey, what's good with y'all, man? It's the Wagga Bar for Black Authentic Truth, man. Thank you for tapping in on this. Well, I can say I can speak for Southern California, man. It is hot as fish grease in Southern California right now. I know usually I'd be like, "Oh, it's a nice day." It is not a nice day. It is a hot day. You know what I'm saying? It is tearing up. It's on fire. And it's one of those days where you say, okay, y'all remember those fires back, a couple months ago in Pasadena, Altadena, Pacific Palisades. This is one of them times where you think that should have happened. That should have happened then. That should have happened right now, which happened a few months ago. When they talk about uh it's hot, it's this, high temperatures, the forest is dry, the grass is dry, and that's how these fires start. I wouldn't be surprised if a fire started right now, if that is how those fires actually start. You know what I'm saying? We don't know. But anyway, how is everybody doing on this Sunday? Brothers and sisters tapping in. I see Renee Gaines. Hey, what's good with you, Renee? Black Rain 303, my main man, said it is over 100 in Phoenix for the past few days. Ooh, wee. And I'm supposed to be in Arizona. What's the date? Around I think it might be around the 6th, the weekend of the 6th. And I already know it's gonna be, it's gonna be on triple digits, on fire out there. It's always hot out there. It seems like it's always not. Well, you know what? I will say I was in Phoenix. What that was that like December? Maybe December, November, and it was cool. It was it was nice temperatures. But I know summertime is coming, so I already know how it is, and I know that even at night it'd be 100 degrees. It'd be triple digits. Yeah. So man, this is your main man, the Wagga Bar, Black Authentic Truth. You read the title. Stop the cap on Mother's Day. That's going to be the last topic I go over, but that just stop the cap. It's not genuine love, and I'm gonna explain why. I know a lot of Black people is celebrating Mother's Day today, and we're gonna get into it. It's gonna hurt some feelings, but it's gonna be real and it's gonna be truthful. It's gonna deal with reality. We Black people don't like to deal with reality, especially when it's coming from other Black people. You know what I mean? And that's just how it is. That's just what it is. But I'm gonna get into this first video, right? This video. Oh, okay, let me see. Renee said something. Renee said, it's warm here, 84, just like my slave, just left my slave, pulling up at home, about to chime in and drink me some Jose Cuervo. You know what? That's lingo. You know what I'm saying? That's our type of lingo. When we say slave, we pulling up, we just left the slave, we just left work. When I say I'm at my slavery, I'm at work. You know what I mean? It's just some slang. That's some ISUPK slang, and that's just how we get down. You know what I mean? And y'all know what it is. You know what I mean? An employee is basically, let me read. Hold on. The truth hurt. Oh, yeah, the truth hurts, M. Gaines. I seen a study on birds starting fires to get the bugs to come out. You know what? That's believable. And birds are very intelligent. I just seen something with ravens and how they can remember faces and stuff. So I wouldn't put it past that. You know what I mean? But stories that I've heard growing up out here, as far as the mountains and the fires that are seasonal, it seems like they have fire season. I've heard stories that firefighters light these fires on purpose in order to get that overtime and get more money, because when you're working a fire, you're getting overtime, you're getting money, whereas most of the year it ain't nothing really going on. You have your house fires here and there, but when they had those fires in the mountains, in the forest, it's like they're out there for weeks upon weeks. And I heard that possibly they light those, allegedly they light those fires themselves, which is not far-fetched because they do what they call control fires to burn away bush. And let's just say it gets out of hand, then it becomes something where it's an emergency, right? Michael Foster said, all right, I've seen that. All right, no sweat. I'm about to hop right into this video. All right, now this video is very hypocritical, and y'all gonna see what I'm saying.
$15 on the highway patrol.
A driver pulled over for speeding pointed a rifle at a highway patrol officer yesterday. CHP says it happened just north of Reading on I-5. An officer stopped a vehicle on the Mountain Gate off-ramp. The driver, they say, got out of the car, pointed the AR-style assault rifle toward the officer. Officials say the suspect re-entered his vehicle and then they started pursuit. Vehicle continued southbound, driving at varying speeds before exiting the freeway at Oasis, continuing for about 2 miles west before stopping near Vigil Court. The suspect taken into custody, booked into Shasta County Jail.
What the f?
That's crazy, right? Let me get it. Let me see if I can get that. Now, this video, this man, he hops out with an AR style assault rifle, walks up on the police. The police pull backwards. They didn't hop out the car and fire. I mean, what's the word? I mean, de-escalate ain't even the word. They got the hell out of Dodge. Now, we just recently had the story with the young man running from the police, Ryan Hinton, his father, Rodney Hinton, who later on, unalived a police officer over his son being shot by the police. Well, they said that while he was running, that somehow he was running and he pointed the gun at them. They feared for their life. See, we don't even have to actually be taking a stance and actually pointing a firearm at police. All we have to do is look like or be running away. Right here, you see this man, he walked up to the police cruiser and the police cruiser backed up. And then somehow they arrested him peacefully. You know what I'm saying? They figured out a way to, de-escalate. You know how what's the word? What's the phrase when they in a chase and they decide to back off? They decide to back off on a high-speed chase because they feel like it's too dangerous in the public area. Well, this don't even look like a public area, but they decided to back off. And we'll get him later. We know his license plate number. It's not like he can get away. And they got him, they apprehended him later. He went in peacefully. He went to jail peacefully. Now, if you do that, and I'm not advocating for violence. I'm not saying go out and do that or you get pulled over, stand your ground and all of that crap like they do. But I just want you to understand there's two worlds that you live in America. There's two worlds. You know what I mean? There's a white world and there's a black world. There's plenty of videos where you have white folks pulling knives, pulling guns on law enforcement, and law enforcement somehow, some way find a way to take them in peacefully without gunning them down, without unloading, several shots. You know what I'm saying? Let me see. Michael said, I don't. Oh, okay. All right. I'll get to that, Mike. We're going to get to that. But the point is you see how hypocritical it is when they say, well, he had a gun, he was resisting. Whereas you got somebody that literally is walking up on the police telling them, come on, what you want to do, with the firearm in hand. Now, maybe the police just seen that he was, outmatched in firepower. I mean, he looked at that rifle and, and said, you know what, I don't want to have a Wild West shootout. Maybe that could be the case. But there are plenty of other instances where people have threatened police officers. White folks have threatened them, talk to them crazy and everything, pull a knife on them. I remember one video, I hope I can find it. It was one video where it was a man with a knife and they're just telling him to stop. Finally, the officer somehow he just goes and has a conversation with the man. And before you know it, the man gives up. And I thought to myself, like, it's something that needs to be studied, because it's something in there where you see a person that looks like you and you automatically have compassion on them. And you want to know, what are you going through? Well, the thing about law enforcement policing Black people is that a lot of times law enforcement are afraid of Black people. They don't understand. I want you to really think about this. These are white males that come from other neighborhoods. They grow up a totally different way from Black people. Then they, get in a uniform and they are policing Black people. And all they know is the things they see on television and the things that they see and hear about Black people. And so in a lot of instances, they don't understand Black people. You got people that don't understand another people policing this people and afraid of this people and willing in that, emotion of being afraid of these people, they resort to the utmost violence within their training. They don't resort to, okay, what's going on, man? Like, you having a bad day? Tell me what's going on. They don't try to, connect on a human level. They see Black men as, animals, as this thing, this terrifying thing. That's just my opinion. You know what I mean? But these are people that are even not from our community that are policing us. I truly believe that Black folks could police Black folks far better than any other race. That's my opinion. And, I'm going to stand by that. Michael Foster, you said we can't point a finger at the police. America using Black people tax dollars to pass laws against the citizens. Now, what do y'all think about what I said? The original dynamic, I kind of went out on a tangent, but the original dynamic is this. There are many times where Black people just look like they might do something, or they haven't even did anything, or maybe they pulled out their wallet, or maybe they have a phone in their hand and they're gunned down, versus someone like this that walks up on a police officer, able to leave the scene and make it somewhere else and get arrested and take it in peacefully. Give me your thoughts. You know what I mean? Y'all can drop that. I'm gonna move on. I don't want to spend too much time on it, but now we're gonna go into this other video. That is something that, I want to talk about.
These devils are and what they will do to disrupt Black organizations, disrupt Black leaders. Every youth and young activist or activist, you should absolutely read Operation COINTELPRO. If you don't study J. Edgar Hoover and the counterintelligence program of the FBI against Black leaders and Black organizations, you're not qualified to lead. You need to see what these people did, because faces change, but the game remains the same, brother.
Damn. The brother said, and I don't totally agree with the fact that if you don't study COINTELPRO, you're not qualified to speak on these Black issues. But, you got a lot of Black people that have opinions about what's going on with Black people and, the history between Black people and white people, but they don't really know much. You know what I mean? And COINTELPRO, I remember reading about COINTELPRO and how in one of the documents, they were looking for a Black messiah to rise up and to lead Black people. And I really, at the time, I thought to myself, I was like, what do they mean by that? You know what I mean? Is it just a Black leader, or is it a figure? When you really think about it, anybody that ever had the ear of the people was assassinated. You know what I mean? So it was a terrifying thing to the United States government that one day these black people who were once enslaved by America would now come together under a black messiah, quote unquote, or a leader that would lead them or turn them against the nation that has never ever reparated them anyway. Another thing that came out in the COINTELPRO was the fact that United States government was putting crack cocaine in the black community. Now, at one time, that was a conspiracy theory. And, you know, people always talk about conspiracy theories. Like, why are you talking about this? That's just a conspiracy theory. That's just, you know, that's a conspiracy theory. You know, you don't got no proof that that ever happened. And then one day the files come out that they were putting crack cocaine in black communities. So sometimes the conspiracy theories are true. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes they are true. You know what I mean? Let me see. Michael Foster said, two different America, black people fighting for democracy and to the republic for which it stands under one nation. Black Rain said, Khan did a paper on COINTELPRO. Interesting read. A black messiah. They know the Bible. Oh, yes, they know the Bible. They definitely know the Bible. And they know that the Jews, the Israelites, were black. And so, you know, deep down in that psyche, back in their minds, they're thinking like, these people may one day rise up against us because of the crimes and atrocities of the past. And so there's a type of fear in the United States government of black people becoming the enemy of the United States government, or black people saying, okay, let's deal with the Russians. Let's deal with the Chinese. Let's deal with another nation that could help us. There is that fear, you know, and of course, no one will ever admit it. But when you are an organization designed to stop any black institution that rises up, anytime black people came together, you know, they had an eye on it. The Black Panthers, you know, the Nation of Islam, even Martin Luther King at one time, they really thought he was a communist. So they always fear, like, what are black people doing? We want to make sure that they, you know, they stand patriotic, they stand in the loop, they still believe in, and they're still trying to attain that American dream, not think outside the box, not get any wisecrack ideas, because we don't want these people to turn against us. And biblically, you remember this happened in Egypt, where the Egyptians, the Israelites were in Egypt. And over a process of time, a new pharaoh, a new king rose up, and he didn't look at the Israelites the same as the previous pharaohs did. And he said, let's deal crafty with these people, because these people might get stronger and stronger. They're multiplying, and they might just overpower us. And that's the same fear of the United States government. And if you read COINTELPRO, it basically illustrates that they had a fear of black people becoming strong and powerful and rising up. And so, you know, that's just it. I do agree that when it comes to the historical, you know, the things that happened and took place, that, you know, if you want to be a person that is trying to teach your people, and you are into that lane, then you should know the history. You should know that the devil that you're dealing with. You should know about the deception that has taken place. You should know and be, you know, up on the lies that have taken place when it comes to how they have dealt with your people. You know, none of us wants to deal with that. You don't want to deal with the fact that every time you had a black leader, that they assassinated your black leader, or they tried to infiltrate your black groups, and they tried to send drugs into your communities to keep you down and to keep you destroyed. I mean, does that sound like a government that loves its people and respects its citizens? As a black person, you have a government. I don't care if you're Democrat, Republican. It doesn't even matter what your ideology is, but the truth matters. And the truth is that the United States government has tried to sabotage black people in any and every way. Right. I seen that too. Michael said, I seen 2 white kids pointing a gun at the police, but Tamir Rice was different. There's a video floating around right now. I think that's what Michael Foster is talking about. There's a video floating around right now where you have 2 white kids that somehow got a hold of a gun and the police is surrounding them and they're telling them to put the gun down. But the kids look like they might be like 6, 7 years old. Somehow they have a actual firearm. And they telling them, and then when they really start yelling, one of the boys, the angle is from the top, looking at these 2 boys. One of the boys, he hold on to the gun tighter. When the police start yelling and making a lot of noise, he hold on to the gun tighter, like, I'm ready to just go gun ho. But the point is, Tamir Rice, I think it was less than a second that police drove up, slid in, and shot Tamir Rice. Tamir Rice was 12 years old. You know, black kid with a toy gun. Let me see. Yes, Black Rain. That Psalms 83, that conspiracy. But they can't do that with us, or they would have given us reparations to get rid of us. True. Or they would have just said, you know, what Marcus Garvey was doing. Marcus Garvey had built that steam line in his mind. He wanted to take black people on that ship and start taking them back to Africa, take them to Liberia. You know what I mean? Like, we are the lifeblood of America. And I'm not just saying black people. I'm saying like all groups. You know, the people that work all of the jobs that keep this place running, the warehouse jobs, security jobs, you know, delivery jobs, you know, janitorial, all of those jobs, God's chosen people work. Like, if we was to leave out of America, America would shut down overnight. Even if black people just said, I'm not going to work, you know, I'm not going to work tomorrow, and truly, you know, boycotted in that way, America would shut down overnight. You know what I mean? And they would have to come to the table, and they would have to give black people what they want. You know what I mean? That's where the real power is at. You know what I mean? Is in affecting their money. You touch their bread, then you're going to get their attention. But you won't get their attention with just marching. You know, you won't get their attention with, you know, the type of things that we think we are making a difference with, as far as the outrage and, you know, all of that. You'll get their attention when you touch that money. Let me move on. I'm gonna move on because of time's sake. I started a little later than I wanted to. I got like 5 more stories I want to get into, and then the last one we'll get into Mother's Day. We'll touch some of the history of Mother's Day, where Mother's Day comes from, and the reason why. You know, I want to save it. I'm gonna save it. Let's get it. All right. Let's remove this. So let me just preface this by saying what is happening here is there's a man that has gotten into it with an elderly man. That's the elderly man right here inside of some restaurant. I don't know what it is. I can't really tell, but he has gotten into it with this man, and he is, you know, pulling his hands up like he is about to put hands on this elderly man. At the same time, you have a few youngsters, some YNs, that get up and they get in this man's face and confront him about wanting to, you know, do whatever you want to do to this elderly man. I'm gonna play it. So he's saying like what he trying to do to the elderly man, and the brother is saying, but this is someone's grandfather. This is someone's, father. Like this is an elderly man. And he's like, you know what? Just go. Get out. Just go.
This is crazy.
Now get out. Now get out. Now get out. Now get out.
Knocked out. Pull up, y'all.
Now
He
get
getting
out.
knocked
Now
out.
get out.
Now get out.
Get out. No, get out. Get out. Get out. Get out.
Get out.
Get out.
Get out.
Get out. Get out. Get out.
Yeah. Get out. Yeah. The little homie said, get out of here, son. Yeah. Fuck your OCD.
Now, I applaud those brothers because we need more of that in our community, whether it's young men or women. You see videos where young men are trying to fight elderly men, videos where young women are trying to fight elderly, older women. These are grandfathers and grandmothers. This is somebody's grandmother. You know what I mean? I seen a video recently, and I don't remember where I seen it at, where there was a young lady that went to someone's house and she pulled the grandma out and was fighting the grandma in the front yard of the house. And it was a grandmother. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, we done lost so much respect for our elders. Black parents, you need to teach your children how to respect their elders. And let's be real, to a younger person, an elderly person is an easy target. You can easily overpower an elderly person, and many people know that. So I shout out those brothers for stepping in and telling that brother just to get up out of there, get out of the old man's face. You're not finna do anything. And we need to, we need that back in the Black community. We need to, look out for the weaker people in our community, whether they be disabled or elderly or young. That's what we need. We need young men just like that. The same young man that people will write off and people will say, oh, he's probably a thug or he's probably up to no good, is the same young man that will step in and do something like that. Protect the elderly, protect the fatherless, protect the widow, protect your people who can't fend for themselves. You know what I mean? That's what we need, man. We this is exactly what we need. Black Rain said, good brothers got to stand up. Real talk. They got to stand up. Listen, contrary to popular belief, we're not a people that's just, natural born criminals and we don't know right from wrong. We know right from wrong. But it takes bravery and courage for somebody to, show that in public. Because nowadays, this world calls the things that are good bad and the things that are bad good. This world is damn near upside down on morality, is bankrupt on morality and what you're supposed to be doing and the respect you're supposed to be having for your elders. You know what I mean? Man, you know how hard it is as a Black person to even get to that age with all of the things that's up against you, whether it be health issues, little different things that you go through in life. Man, it's a blessing to get to that age and to have some knucklehead challenge you. And I know when a lot of people get older, elderly people, they can be, stuck in their ways. They can be senile and they can probably say some things, that might be off. But as a young black male, man, you got to have some damn sense. A lot of these brothers don't got no damn sense. Ain't never been taught a lick of nothing. All you know is how to be emotional and act off your emotions like you some damn woman. Like you a damn woman, man. You need to grow up. And I know, like I said, an elderly person can say something like, you know, but you gotta have enough noodles and marbles to recognize this is an elderly person, man. Look, OG, you got it, OG. I'm gonna let it go. You know, no big deal. The same as with a child. A child could say something or do something, and you gotta let it go because they're a child. They don't know no better. Well, when elderly people get older, sometimes they might say something. You know, maybe they might have a stance or something you don't agree with, or whatever the case may be. You gotta let it go, man. Let it go. Right, Black Rain, like the zealots, right? Yeah, man, you gotta let it go, man. We got bigger things to worry about. We got bigger things to worry about than worrying about, you know, some elderly person offending you, and now you want to put hands on them. So shout out to brothers like that. Shout out to young sisters like that have morals and morality and have the courage and the bravery to say, nah, stop. Leave that elderly woman alone. Leave that elderly man alone. They elderly. What are you? You gonna get some points off of beating up an elderly man? You gonna get some points over beating up somebody's grandma? Now I'm gonna drop this. I'm moving, y'all. And let's get this one. This one is this is a good video, man. This is a good video.
Yeah. He got out when I was 21.
Let me start it off.
I did about 20 years in jail. He got out when I was 21. And we started texting right away, and mostly about sports and bullshit, nothing too deep. Occasionally we'd throw in a happy birthday or Merry Christmas. We'd see each other maybe once a year, once every other year. And this went on till 3 years ago. I was 29. And so at this point, we're still basically strangers. We're cordial, but we don't really know each other that well. So he called me one night, which is already like, doesn't make sense. Something's gotta be wrong. I know instantly, because in all of our years of communication, we have never once called each other. So shit has hit the fan. I already know before I answered his phone. I answered the phone, sure enough, he's in jail, locked up again. He needs $5 grand to get out. And I'm the only person who knows who could possibly do that for him. Otherwise, he's there till trial, which could be anywhere from 6 months to 3 years. Who knows? Like, could be forever until he gets to go to trial. I'm debating on it, going back and forth for obvious reasons, but ultimately, I don't have the heart to not pay the money, even if I don't want to. So, fuck it, I gotta pay. I take the 3-hour trip, bail him out. Next problem, he has nowhere to go. He got in trouble at the place he was living. He can't go back there. He has nothing. So Babe and I talked about it, and eventually we just decided, for whatever reason, fuck it. He's coming to live with us. We have an extra guest bedroom. We don't know each other. Whatever though, here we go. Let's see what happens. So he moved in with us. And let me tell you, it's been fucking amazing. He's lived with us for 3 years now, and he's like my best friend in the world. And my son loves him, loves this puppa. And it's nice to have him around and just have somebody to be there and support. And it's just been fucking amazing. Who would have ever guessed? I didn't know this man for like 20 years. And then all of a sudden, as a grown man, here he is, and bam, now we best friends. Life's fucking crazy. That's all.
This didn't go how it started out. And I admit that I'm guilty of thinking I knew where this video was going. And it's because of the brainwashing that we all have You're like, this is going to end bad. The way he's telling this story about this black father that had been in prison for 20 years. And now he's calling him for help to bail him out. And then he moves in with him, but they don't know each other. Then he says, it's just effing amazing. He has become my best friend after not knowing him for 20 years. And this just goes to show you that, you know, a lot of us come from broken families where we may not know our father, or maybe our mother wasn't the best mother, but you have to learn how to give it a second chance and forgive your parents. Because what you also have to remember is that you'll learn this when you become a parent. And what you have to remember is this and realize is that your parents, when they were young parents with you as a child, a baby, they were just learning, right? They were learning just like everybody else. And maybe they didn't have, the father figure, the mother figure, the instruction to say, hey, this is how you do things. This is how you don't do things. And this story just shows you that you could come back from anything as far as, your relationships with your parents and building a relationship. And this is the worst type of relationship that you hear about in the Black community, a father that wasn't there. He was, for whatever reason, he wasn't there. In this brother's case, 20 years. He's 29. He had only texted with his father regularly, but he had never seen him in 20 years. And then his father moves in with him, lives with him. It's been 3 years, but it's been amazing. His son loves his grandfather, and they have become best friends. So anything is possible. Don't let social media and, all these things that people say tell you that it's not possible to rekindle a relationship with a parent, either or, father or mother. It is definitely possible. And this is just proof that it is. What y'all think about it? Black Rain said, that's a great story. Never had that with mine. All praises. Happy for that. Exactly. That's a great story. It's and it gives hope to people that may be in that same situation, that you like, I don't know this man, and over the time we have been taught to, especially with Black fathers, we've been taught to hate them if they wasn't around. And, and then you even see where people hate their mothers for the things that they did in the past. And, now they're changed, and people still hold those grudges towards their mother for whatever reason, hold the grudges to their father for whatever reason. But you grown now, and at the end of the day, you don't want to keep carrying that, because it might come a time where you be in the same position with your kids, and you want your kids to give you a second chance. And, you want your kids to be open to have a relationship with you, and it could just backfire, and then you can get the same thing that you gave out when it came to you and your parent, right? So yeah, now I'm gonna go to this next video. Shout out to everybody that's been up in here rocking with me. Let me drop this. As a matter of fact, did y'all see that they came with a statue? I know some of y'all seen that. It's a Black woman statue in New York, man. And I had to ask, like, what was the meaning of that black statue? And it's a sister, and she's standing in the stance. She's standing in that stance, like, I don't give a damn, like a stance or like an attitude. People are making light that the Black woman is obese, right? That's not the thing that I really seen. I seen how she's standing, and like she has an attitude, like I don't take no mess type of stance. And I said, like, is this supposed to be inspiring to Black women? Like, who made this, and what is the reasoning behind that type of statue? Excuse me. And it puts me in the mind of, like, if it was a male, right? Let's say the equivalent would be a Black male standing there with I don't know, a tank top on, his pants hanging. You know what I mean? Like with a look on his face, like what you want to do. Like I just don't get it. You know, maybe somebody can help me out with the meaning of it. But I just don't get it. I do not get it. It's crazy. Brilliance Win said they suck our energy with all these holidays and bread. Oh, yes, we're gonna get to that. We're gonna get to that. It's programming. It's definitely programming. This is definitely programming. This is definitely programming about that statue. Black Rain said they are also in other countries like the Netherlands, London. They're in several countries. It's not just New York. Okay, I didn't know that, but thank you for dropping that information. I didn't know that. So I don't now it begs the question once again, what is it all about? You know what I mean? Can't we just have a statue that's dignified? Can a Black woman have a statue that's dignified? There's plenty of statues of Black men and women that are dignified, but damn, what is the whole point of it? Black Rain said this. He said, I think it's to show the mammy stereotype come against it. Ooh, the mammy stereotype. That's crazy. Crazy work. Let me grab this video real quick. Now, this particular video, this is Kenyon Martin and Nick Young, I believe. This is on the Gilbert Arenas show. It's happened like a day or two ago where it got heated. All right. Pull this video up.
I'm trying not to tell Nick shut the fuck up while I'm talking.
Okay.
While I'm talking,
We were talking
right?
about Greg Popovich, his legacy.
Like just fucking rude. Just nobody give a fuck about your phone. Niggas over here talking about something important.
You over here talking.
Yeah, you're about the wrong fucking thing, nigga.
Man, you want to talk like you on the porch.
Yeah, we talking about this man legacy.
All you want.
We're talking about this man legacy over here, and you fucking being disrespectful, nigga.
This is Gil's Arena presented by
Y'all
Underdog.
look the same age, so it's
Right?
like,
Yeah, he kept saying you want to make a joke. Ain't shit funny right now, nigga.
keep talking about Pop.
Ain't shit funny,
Pop,
nigga.
shit. Let me show
Everything
you.
ain't nobody want to see that dumbass shit you showing, nigga.
Don't be scared to look this way.
Like,
Don't be scared, nigga.
I'm over here.
yeah, the dumbass
talking
nigga over here
right
trying
now,
to conduct the motherfucking show, and you over
If
here
you
just
want to
constantly.
talk.
We're trying to, nigga. Shut the fuck up.
Damn, I don't have to shut up. I'm
Then why
showing you
niggas talking,
something.
you do,
I
nigga?
didn't say nothing. He said something.
Shut the
You scared
fuck
to say
up.
something? I don't have to shut
You
up.
the one niggas can hear.
Now
Can't
I'm
nobody
not gonna
hear him.
shut up. Now I'm
Can't
never
nobody
gonna
hear him.
shut up. I'm never gonna shut up now.
Sorry, Pop.
Yeah.
You can
Talk
Pop
the
a
whole
smoke
time.
a little.
Pop, thank you for the basketball gods.
Can we get a little smoke for Pop?
Hey,
Pop with the basketball.
mad for no reason.
Nigga over trying to have a real conversation, nigga.
All right,
Shut
you
up.
can have it, nigga. I don't have
Trying
to shut up.
shut
and
up.
I didn't say nothing. Don't
Fucking
tell me
child.
to shut up, nigga.
You're a fucking child. Shut
All
up
right.
sometimes.
Swag, we're
Shut up,
Nigga, shut up.
we are showing love to
Shut
Greg
up.
Nigga, no
Popovich.
fucking
Shut up.
shit. Shut
You shut up.
All right, man. That's the end of the show.
We are showing love. We are trying to show love.
to you, nigga.
Show love to Greg
I'm
Popovich.
talking to you, directly
All
to
right,
you.
stop talking to
Nick,
me like that. All right.
talking to you, nigga.
All right. And I'm
You ain't one talking to him,
and I'm
talking
gonna
to
keep
you,
talking.
nigga.
And I'm gonna keep talking, nigga.
In the show.
Never gonna
Enough,
stop talking. Somebody gonna- everyone
enough,
shut
enough,
up.
gentlemen.
The fuck?
Enough.
Oh, y'all.
Nigga,
In the show. Goddamn.
Enough. Well, this has been
Paulo, hit the button.
another episode of Gil's Arena presented by Underdog. We will see y'all next week.
You crazy as fuck.
Shut up sometimes.
Yeah. Now that was disrespectful. And now before I go, this is a show where you have ex NBA players. This is Gil's Arena. Gilbert Arenas was he was an NBA superstar back in the day, and everybody typically on this show, except for I think that one guy, is an ex NBA player. I guess they're talking about Popovich. He's no longer the San Antonio coach, but he just retired. I think he had health issues or whatever the case may be, but he's well known, well respected. And I guess he was talking about him, and Nick was talking to Gilbert about something that Gilbert had asked him about, and Kenyon Martin didn't like it. And so he got at him like this, but the way he got at him was so disrespectful. And you can see that Nick Young, like he's not that type of person. You know what I mean? If you really look at the video, he technically he didn't even look up and look Kenyon Martin in the eye. That really don't really matter, man. Kenyon Martin, he made a fool of himself right there. And I'm gonna tell you why. It's because there's other ways to deal with perceived disrespect. He felt disrespected that while he was talking about Popovich, a white coach, and talking about his legacy, that Nick wasn't fully paying attention and trying to show someone something on his phone. He felt disrespected. The way that you handle that is you say, okay, I'm just going to, I'm gonna stop talking, or I'm going to continue talking, but later on, I'm going to approach this man and I'm gonna say, man, listen, I felt like, that was disrespectful that you were talking while I was giving a monologue, and I'm trying to, give this man his flowers and talk about his legacy. You're supposed to pull a brother to the side, not try to blast them in front of everybody in such a disrespectful manner. Now, in the streets, that right there is how black men get unalive and kill one another. That type of level of disrespect. Now, if Nick Young had the same temperament as Kenyon Martin, we know Kenyon Martin in his career, he was a hothead. If he had the same temperament and you had two pit bulls, two brothers that have no restraint out of what they say, then it would have escalated very fastly. And on the streets, that is the type of disrespect that escalates very fastly, very quickly. You know what I mean? There's a way to communicate to another black man that you felt like something was disrespectful. There's a way to use your words, whereas it doesn't turn into something that's going to escalate and become violent. This is not how you handle situations. And Kenyon Martin made a fool of himself being, disrespecting Nick Young like that. Some people might say Nick Young he ain't this, he's that, he's a punk, he should have, but he stood his ground. He felt disrespected. He said, don't talk to me like that. I'm gonna keep talking. You know what I mean? But these are supposed to be professionals. And you see with black men, even when they're supposed to be professionals, because they lack the skills and they lack the emotional intelligence, that even when you got money, you're a millionaire, you still resort to the same tactics that a man that lives in a regular neighborhood would do. And from a scriptural perspective, like you're supposed to go to a man that you felt like he did you wrong. You're supposed to talk to him, you and him alone, and say, look, bro, I didn't like the way when I was talking, you was talking. Like I was trying to bring out something real serious and you over there playing on your phone, bro. I just felt like, if it was you, I would have did the same. That's how it's supposed to go. And then maybe the brother hear you, maybe he don't. Maybe maybe he hear you, maybe he don't. But to do it like on that platform for the world to see, and they feel like, because this video is posted on Gil's Arena, it's just this clip is posted, so they don't even feel like, okay, for the sake of content creation and for the sake to drive up their numbers and their ratings, they posted it. They don't even feel like it's anything wrong with what happened. And I'm talking about the people that produced the show and the people that are involved in the show, because they posted it and they just posted this clip. You know what I mean? But it was a better way to handle that. That's the point I wanted to bring this out. You see this happen all the time with black men. You see you know, how black men are unable to control their emotions and unable to talk to one another in a respectful manner, where then it possibly escalates to some violence or even death. And it should never go that way. Let this be a lesson to brothers. This is not how you handle a perceived disrespect or somebody that you know, you feel like has crossed you or something real slight trespassed against you, and you don't appreciate it. But Gil is a clown archetype. To be honest, for their type of platform, they love it. Okay, see, and I'm not technically familiar with the platform. You know what I'm saying? I'm not technically, I've seen only clips of the platform. It doesn't seem like it's the type of thing that where you're talking about some, you know, real stuff. I think the other platform with the other two brothers, I think it's Stack and what's the light-skinned brother? I forget his name. Where they talk, it's two of them, and they talk with somebody one-on-one. That's a little more serious and more of a real interview type of platform than this one. This one does seem a little clownish at times, but I don't watch it, so I really wouldn't know. But I think I said what I want to say about that. Is black men, you got to do better as far as how you handle your emotions and how you look at your brother. You don't talk to another black man in a way that you wouldn't want to be talked to. You know what I'm saying? And also, another good thing as a black man is to understand that, you know, you don't have to engage everybody. If it's some perceived disrespect, you're not being no punk by saying, you know what, you got it. Matt Barnes, thank you, M Gaines, Matt Barnes. By telling another black man that's verbally antagonizing you or verbally disrespecting you, and you can see past that, and you don't understand where it's coming from, you are not a punk. There's nothing wrong with saying, you know what, you got it. I'm not what you say I am. I'm not even tripping. You got it. Go off. You know what I mean? That shows that you have more emotional intelligence than him. But I know that what the world will say. The world will say, "Oh, you should have did this to him. You should have did that to him." And I wouldn't have let that slide. Well, you ain't me. And guess what? I'm not going to end up in prison for being a crash out over some words. Anyway, I'm a talk and talk, bro. Let me drop this video. I'm gonna get this Damon Wayans video. Now we can get into the nitty gritty, right? Excuse me.
It's okay because most of the stuff is, based in paganism. I said on toast because that's it's an old Greek pagan thing where they clink it and you and chase the demons away.
Okay.
Well, if they hear from when I'm drinking, you know what I mean? It's like people don't know what they do. They're celebrating stuff they don't know.
Right.
Easter.
Just tradition that's been handed down, and you.
Right. It's once with knowledge comes power.
Right.
Right. Okay. Once you know that Jesus' death is more important than his birth. Right.
Right.
Christmas. That's something that corporate America figured out how to get rid of all the inventory at the end of the year. Let's clean this out. We'll have a sale. Call it Christmas.
Right.
Because Jesus didn't celebrate his own birthday.
It's a lot to unpack right here. And Damian Wayne started off by saying people, they don't know why they celebrate things. They don't know why they celebrate. And I agree with that. I know that. I done did the research. I understand why Black people, don't know that. Keep it 1,000. Like in my experience, just having the platform of Black Authentic Truth, what it has taught me is that people hate or don't care about history. They don't care. And I can just tell you from like my analytics running my platform, it's like this. The videos that are historical, that bring out some good information, do the worst. Now, if I was to be talking about something that is a current event, like, you know, I don't know, anything that's a current event, anything controversial, or if I talk about a celebrity or something like that, those videos be the ones that do better. And it just showed me that even Black people that are, you know, that, and I understand. I don't got nothing against anybody as far as the people that rock with me and subscribe, but I see that people don't really like that. What they want, what the numbers are saying, is they want controversial stuff. They don't care about history. They don't care about real research. They don't care about that. And so I know my people now. I have a better understanding of what people really be on. And I'm not saying everybody, but like he said, people don't even know why they celebrating stuff. You don't know why you're celebrating Christmas and Easter. You don't know why you're celebrating Father's Day, Mother's Day. You don't know. Let me play some more.
That on toast, because that's it's an old Greek pagan thing where they clink it and you and chase the demons away.
Okay.
Well, if they hear from when I'm drinking, you know what I mean? It's like people don't know what they do. They're celebrating stuff they don't know.
Right.
Easter.
Just tradition that's been handed down, and you.
Right. It's once with knowledge comes power.
Right.
Right. Okay. Once you know that Jesus' death is more important than his birth. Right.
Right.
Christmas. That's something that corporate America figured out how to get rid of all the inventory at the end of the year. Let's clean this out. We'll have a sale. Call it Christmas.
Right.
Because Jesus didn't celebrate his own birthday. Don't you think he would throw a party if it was important?
Right. Yeah.
Change everything to wine. Everything's wine.
True.
Right. So it's like once you know, then it makes it easier to go, oh, okay, I get why I don't celebrate this.
This is the whole issue that we have. Like when we speak about the truth, we say, well, you're not supposed to be celebrating this. Don't celebrate that. And people get upset. But in reality, people are just stuck in a tradition and in a philosophy, American philosophy, in ignorance. And you don't know why you celebrate. You can't really say why other than the fact that everybody is doing it. It's like a follower's mentality. What Damien is bringing out is the truth. Even when it comes to birthdays, that wasn't even a thing. You know what I'm saying? Christmas, all of that. It's all about money. Mother's Day was about money. And that takes me into that. I'm going to go into that, right? So let me pull this up real quick. Oops, did the wrong thing. Mother's Day. So today is Mother's Day, right? And in this title, the description I said, or the title I said, Mother's Day is not genuine. Or should I say, you celebrating Mother's Day and buying your mother flowers and, you know, saying how much your mother was there when you was sick and you was 12 years old. It is not genuine. Okay. Mother's Day is not, you know, something that you're doing because it's just coming out of your heart. It's something that you're doing because the whole world is doing it. So just stop the cap. So I just wanted to get into the history, right? Want to get into the history. Now, in ancient times, you know, the Greeks, they had a mother goddess called Rhea. And Rhea was the mother of all gods. Now, the Romans had Cybele, which was basically the same thing, what you start to learn in history is that a lot of these goddesses are fertility gods, mother gods, and they're throughout history. Also, you had the Queen of Heaven from ancient Babylon. You had these mother gods, and sometimes, you know, they're indistinguishable. They're the same thing. They just name different things. Now, the modern day of Mother's Day, or the modern celebration of Mother's Day, come from this woman right here, Anna Jarvis. Now, I'm gonna read a little bit about how this came about. All right, so just bear with me. So it says that Anna Jarvis was an American social activist who is, and I'm reading from the Britannica online. She was an American social activist who is generally recognized as the founder of the legal holiday known as Mother's Day in the United States and in many other countries. The first Mother's Day church service was held in 1908. I wonder what the condition was of Black people in 1908. Just a thought. And the day was made a national holiday in 1914. Jarvis also headed the Mother's Day International Association, which she incorporated in 1912 to guide the annual observance of Mother's Day and preserve the integrity of the holiday in the face of what she considered to be commercial exploitation by businesses and ideological distortion by political and social movements. Now, she made this day to honor her mother after her mother passed. She had to create an association because she recognized that now it started to become about making money off of women. You know, you buy the candy, the cards, and the flowers. So she made an association to guide the observance so they do it the right way in the face of commercial exploitation. Near the end of her life, Jarvis vigorously but unsuccessfully campaigned for the legal cancellation of Mother's Day in the United States. First of all, it came out of her own, feeling that she wanted to honor her mother. Then when she brought it about, she noticed that, the powers that be was using it to make money. Like all of these holidays is about money. Christmas is the biggest one about money. Then before she died, she was trying to get it canceled. So I want you to think about that for a minute. Now, that's the history. The reality in the Black community is more horrible than that when it comes to Mother's Day. The reality is that our sisters, our mothers, daughters, what have you, have followed, excuse me, the ideology and the philosophy of America. Our mothers went into women's liberation, believed in it wholeheartedly, believed in feminism, believed in the sexual revolution. And these things help further destroy the household. Now we are number one to the tune of 300,000 abortions in America. Our homes are destroyed. Our children are destroyed. The children that come out of these single parent households are destroyed. These are some hard truths for us to listen to. And I know it hurts, but it is the truth. Now, you have women that have taught younger women how to be as destructive as possible and not love their children, not love the men that they're with, and totally destroy themselves. And this comes from aged women. This comes from women teaching women, how to live. when these elder women should be teaching our sisters good things. In a way, I'm quoting from the Bible, right? But I want to show you 2 videos of the 2 types of women that we have in our community that have taught our sisters, you know, good things and bad things. All right, let me get to it. This.
You know, right?
Excuse me, Auntie.
Yes.
I got a question.
Okay.
So, me and my girlfriend went out for girls' night, and her husband did not like the shorts that she wore. He told her not to wear those shorts, and I was like, "Well, they're cute." I thought they was cute.
Nobody care about what you think.
But
Your husband.
you don't think that sounds a little bit controlling?
No, it doesn't.
Oh.
You know, what did he say about the shorts? Well, he said they were too short.
He said they were a little too short.
Yeah, she had on some booty shorts. She need to take them off, and she need to burn them. She need to get rid of them. I mean, can you imagine going out? Some women don't understand this. When I go out with my husband, and when he looks at me, I want him to say, "Ooh, cute." I don't want him to say, "Ugh, nasty." No, my job is to please him. Just like one time I had to tell my husband, "Listen, I want you to get rid of them granddaddy pants." You know. And I wanted him to throw them away, and guess what? He threw them away. Why? Because he knows he wants to please me. This goes both ways. No, tell her to get rid of them shorts, okay? Tell him to get rid of them, throw them away, burn them. Don't even give them to a friend.
Tell her we'll send her some matches, burn them.
Yeah. So and then on top of that, tell her don't go to that store no more.
No more.
Yeah.
So does that mean that going forward, everything he doesn't like, she has to listen to?
I mean,
is that what you're saying?
You don't use that in an abusive way. But come on now, if they're booty shorts and he's telling you, "Hey, this is inappropriate," girl. I had 2 pair of shorts when me and my husband was dating. I had a blue and white and an orange and white. And you know what? He was like, "I'm not going nowhere with you in them shorts." Man, I took a picture and saw my booty hanging out of it. He was like, I threw them shorts away and told him, "I'm sorry. I ain't never wore them shorts again," right? Because men are protective and they want you to look good. You're representing your husband when you walk out the door. You're not just not about you. Stop being so selfish. You know, you want to look good for him, right? And you remember this because you're gonna be a wife one day.
I'm gonna remember.
We're gonna get you set up with a husband. You would not ever let me catch you in no booty shorts ever in your whole entire life. Your husband ain't
no
gonna
booty
be
shorts,
Mom. No booty shorts.
I got something for the booty. Oh yes, it's
Let
called.
me see your booty out. I'm gonna pull out a booty.
I got something for that. Yes, that's what it
We
is.
gonna tear you up. You think we play?
Now, this is an auntie that's being asked a question, and it's not about the booty shorts, right? It's about the whole conversation and how the auntie is giving her good information on how she thinks is not right, or her friend thinks is not right. And these are the type of women that we need in the Black community again. Not saying that they're all gone, because they're, like these women right here, they're 1 in 1,000. But it just shows you that, you know what I mean? This is the type of stuff that we need in our community. We need aged women to teach these younger women good things. Don't think about, it's about a husband and a wife, but she's giving her good advice and great guidance for the future. This was about a friend, but she said, "We're gonna get you married. And I don't want to ever, don't you ever be wearing no booty shorts." You know what I'm saying? That's the type of energy. That's the type of guidance. That's the type of instruction. That's the type of teaching that women need in these day and times, especially in these days and times. Now, let me show you the other type of older woman that teaches young girls today. Let me grab this one. Let me make sure. I want you to hear this.
Be a good hoe. A good hoe don't never be a broke hoe.
Be a good hoe.
A good hoe, no. A good hoe don't never be a broke hoe.
This is the type of women that have destroyed the black community. She told her to be a good hoe. Don't be a broke hoe. And this is the woman that you giving up flowers to and saying, oh, you know, happy Mother's Day to. The same woman that has destroyed children, that has destroyed her daughters, prostituted her daughters. That's basically what she's doing. She's giving an instruction to say, listen, the most important thing about you is what you got in between your legs, and you better make some money with it. Versus the sister we just looked at, giving good wisdom and advice that's going to take the sister far. You telling the sister, be a good hoe. And in her trying to be that and use that thing in between her legs, what if she winds up getting snatched off the streets? I started to listen. One of my first videos was talking about missing black women. Now, there's all kind of ways a woman can come up missing, or a young girl can come up missing. It ain't just like selling what's between her legs. But think about that, though. Think about the scenario that a woman puts herself in when she has that mindset that I'm going to use my body to get money and survive. That type of woman is not thinking about a husband. She's not thinking about her children, but she learned that from an aged woman. She learned that from an older woman. And that's a damn shame. So now, maybe your mother is not like, maybe your mother is the perfect, model of what a mother was supposed to be. She told you good things like that sister in the first video. You know what I mean? You only seen her with one man. She was with your father. You never seen her, act in a way that was shameful or embarrassed you. And you say, well, why can't I celebrate? Why shouldn't I celebrate Mother's Day? Well, because of the history, right? First is the history. Mother's Day don't even come from black people. I showed you the Greeks, the Romans, and I showed you the woman that created Mother's Day in America. And then even she wanted to cancel it before she died. Another thing is this. The most important thing is this. It is not genuine love. You have 364 days to show your appreciation to your mother, your father, or whoever it is. You got 364 days out of the year to do that. You could just do something for your mother, buy her a flower, buy her a card, any time of the year, but you're doing it today. You're making a Facebook post today to say how thankful you is for your mother. People posting videos of taking their mother to a restaurant today. You know why you're doing that? Because the whole world is doing it. It's not genuine. It's not from the heart, because if it was from the heart, it would be spontaneous and it would have been at any other time throughout 365 days. You're doing it because the whole world is doing it. You're doing it because America is doing it. That's it. That's all. Your ancestors didn't do that. So that's why you shouldn't be celebrating none of these holidays. Like I said earlier in this live video, shouldn't be celebrating Mother's Day, Father's Day, none of them. I don't know why. We got bigger fish to fry. The world is at war right now, and black people are still asleep. India, Pakistan, Ukraine, Russia, Israel, Palestine. Donald Trump just, he went to war in the tariffs with the tariffs, putting on different countries. It's too many things to be worried about except some vain holiday. And it just shows that we don't even, like I said earlier, not too long ago, I was like, man, black people don't care about history, man. Black people don't give a damn about history. Black people care about, what everybody else is doing, what America is saying we should do, and following that template. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. Let me go to the comments. Let me see what y'all saying. Seeing we got a little more people up here towards the end. Too bad, brothers and sisters. Y'all got to tap in when it's time to tap in. You could have got a lot of knowledge. You know what I'm saying? That is a spirit worship and tradition. Broad is the path. Man. Broad is the path. But you see the difference between the two type of women. Now, it's like I showed y'all, it was these two different types of women that are teaching these young girls two different things. And listen, your mother deserves honor. We all love our mothers. We all love our mother, and they deserve honor. You know what I mean? But we got to think about this with common sense. It's not genuine. If you have a group of friends, and your group of friends, let's just say it's a group of friends of couples, all right? It's like 5 couples. And you're a man and you hear that the guys are going to surprise their girls with some flowers. And you wasn't planning on getting no flowers, but since the guys are getting the flowers for their girls, you say, I'm going to get some flowers for my girls. For my girl. That's what you're doing. That's basically what it is on these holidays, like these specific ones like Father's Day, Mother's Day. You're doing it because everybody is doing it. You didn't even have the original thought to just say surprise out of the blue in October, coming to the house. Hey, Mom, got you some flowers, got you a car. Oh, baby, thank you. Surprise, a real surprise. You got you got a mother that's expecting, she's expecting it. And a lot of y'all, some people don't have their mother. So you upset, you're sad right now. You're sad, you get in this rut because it's Mother's Day. You know what I mean? When we ain't even supposed to be celebrating it. You know what I mean? But it takes you to a place where you're like, dang, I wish I could have Mother's Day with my mother, when it's not even something we should be doing anyway. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, of course, we love our mothers. We honor our mothers for the sacrifices and the things they did. But let's not forget all of the evil that mothers have done. All of the fathers mothers have pushed out of lives. All of the broken homes and the homes, the houses being torn down, the families being destroyed because of mothers. You know what I'm saying? Not because of fathers, but because of mothers. Let's not forget what you just seen, how you had one mother, one auntie giving good advice, and you had another mother giving horrible advice. And y'all can't you can't deny that you have Black women like that tell other young Black girls that this man ain't gonna be the only man. Sleep with different men till you find your soulmate. That happens in the Black community. And that woman deserves to be praised. That happens in the Black community. Listen, I know it hurt, but it's the truth. A lot of y'all saying Mother's Day, but really, in a lot of instances, it's Monster Day. It's a whole dragon and a monster in that house. But you don't hear me though. It's the Black authentic truth. It ain't always gonna be sweet, but it's gonna be truthful and it's gonna be real. Hey, listen, man. Thank y'all for rocking with me, man. I'm about to get up out of here. I went late. Got to do an interview with my brother, Captain Soccer War, out from Memphis tonight. And so I got to get prepared for that. You know what I'm saying? Once again, let me just end like this. We don't have to do everything they do in this place. Our ancestors didn't have no choice. And our ancestors were ignorant to a lot of things. Not in a bad way. They just didn't know. But we live in a society right now where we can know everything that we ever wanted to know. And so once you get the knowledge, you understand that we don't have to do all the things, and we can still be here and have a good life and live, you know, like everyone else, and be good people and decent and prosper. You know what I mean? We don't have to do everything that they doing, but it just takes time for our people to get that into them, get that into your mind. Like, listen, man, let's not be followers no more. Let's be leaders. So with that, man, I'm up out of here. I appreciate y'all. See y'all possibly next Wednesday, or probably for sure next Sunday. And with that, y'all, this is Black Authentic Truth.